indexed to inflation. We would also end the clawbacks that social development undertakes. Most people don't understand that someone's child support they receive is clawed back when they're on income assistance. If you've got a small disability pension, say from the federal level of government, it's clawed back. So much of what you might receive to help you get ahead, make your basic needs, gets clawed back, which is just amounts to government-enforced poverty, and that will end under a green government. We will eliminate the rules that make it so difficult for people to make their money go further. So we will eliminate the prohibition of people sharing accommodations. That will be gone, and that will be gone immediately, so that people can make their money go further. And we will also change the criteria to determine whether people are eligible for income assistance at the disability rate. Right now, to be able to receive the disability rate for income assistance, you practically have to be in the intensive care ward at the hospital. It's excruciatingly difficult. So there's so many people with significant disabilities who are not considered eligible for the disability rate of income assistance, which is just wrong, and we will change that. There's other steps we will take to help alleviate poverty, and they include to eliminate the annual premiums on the New Brunswick drug plan for individuals earning less than $25,000 a year and for families making less than $40,000 a year. Une administration verte va améliorer l'accès à des logements en sécurité abordables en mettant en œuvre des stratégies de logement d'abord à Fredericton, Moncton et Saint-Jean. That's the Housing First strategy in English, which organizations in Fredericton, Moncton, and St. John have been working so hard to put together to help end homelessness, but have received absolutely no financial support to implement those programs. And so we would do so. We would ensure the financial support is there between provincial and federal funding so that we can really tackle homelessness, which is becoming that much more visible every day to New Brunswickers, particularly in our cities, in Fredericton, in Moncton, and certainly in St. John. Aussi, un gouvernement vert offrira davantage de suppléments au loyer aux personnes plutôt qu'aux locataires. So we would ensure that there's far more rent supplements so that people can acquire a rent supplement for the apartment they're living in, and do less subsidization directly of landlords, so that the subsidization, the affordable housing subsidy, goes with the person and not the landlord, and that should make a significant difference. Another important thing is people find it very difficult to access legal assistance. Our legal aid program is very small and underfunded, so we would expand the scope and budget of legal aid services to be comparable with what's offered in Nova Scotia. That's it. Just what people are eligible for in Nova Scotia, we will bring about in New Brunswick, and that will help a lot of people living in poverty and on low incomes to access the legal system. We will reduce the paperwork required to access public services through the Departments of Social Development and Post-Secondary Education, Training, and Labor. The paperwork is incredible. We hear business complaining about the level of paperwork they have to deal with. The level of paperwork for people living in poverty is unbelievable, and often leads to serious miscommunication, paperwork being missing, and so on, that throws people into crisis. So we'd end that. The other big issue we would address with respect to assisting people living in poverty is mobility, public transportation. To be able to access a job, to get to work, to buy groceries, to access childcare, people need transportation. And so we would begin treating public transportation as a public service in New Brunswick. That's how we would think about it. So that would require a whole mindset change in government. Public transportation is a public service, and therefore we need to work to put in place public transportation